Hello, my good friends, my compatriots, everyone else who's listening. This is McLumberjack, and this is Academy Matchday number 7. We are now, after this matchday at least, halfway through the season, uh, but nothing is decided yet. There are still multiple teams fighting for that top spot, uh, and any team can still string a whole bunch of wins together and really change the season they've had so far. We have some exciting matches as always. We will start it off with Istanbul versus Port Royal. We'll go to Victoria Falls versus Adowa Accra. That's a big one. That's a number 2 versus number 3. Then we'll have Stockholm versus Sydney. Can Sydney finally reverse their bad fortune? And then we ended with PS Jakarta versus Atletico. PS Jakarta, of course, one to watch this time, as they have gotten an influx of new players. And I've heard they've also gotten a really handsome and talented manager, but I'll talk more about that later, of course. We will start it off with Istanbul versus Port Royal, and this is going to be interesting because Port Royal seemed to finally have found their form last game, whereas Istanbul seemed to have found their full form 2 games ago. Both big loss streak and then a nice little win in there. 2 wins for Istanbul. So let's see whose fortunes have been turned around more. As you can see, they have 6 and they have 7 points. I won't repeat that. But it's going to be a very, very, very interesting match here. I think it's going to be very important to see who's going to start off well, who's going to start on that right foot. As we have the kickoff and Monroe for Port Royal has the ball. And we hopefully go into a very exciting 90 minutes of football. We have Brian to Monroe. Gerard moving it down the wing to McGlynn. McGlynn with some pace here. Gets past his man. A lot of space from here. Goes all the way down. Gets it to own goal. And oh no, Owen, how have you missed that? Right in front of beautiful pass. Right in front of goal, but is not able to finish it. That's disappointing. Now Bryant with the corner. And it's Black. Bergman intercepts, and there's a little bit of space here. Gets it to Ronaldo. A lot of people here, 3 people with him. Chance for a cross. Crosses it to Van Wolf. Van Wolf gets the ball, and Van Wolf scored. Dante Van Wolf, he struggled to get his first, but the second come quick. Is he going for thirds? Ronaldo with a beautiful run here. Has support from his teammates. Gets it beautifully to Van Wolf, and Dagon is not able to save that. Nice finish. Dante Van Wolf gets Istanbul their 1-0 lead. In the 7th minute already. Scream. Very beautiful ball to McGlynn. McGlynn once again with space. Crosses it. Gets it to own goal. Own goal to Bryant. Ooh, and a save from the headhunter. That's a beautifully played out attack for Port Royal. And so far, this game has really delivered. It's only been 11 minutes. We've had a bunch of chances. A goal already for Istanbul. Could go anyway. So we have Bergman crossing it in. Gets it to Van Wolf. Ooh, Dagon really has to go for that. Nice heading opportunity, and it really does seem like Van Wolf is released. He's howling at the moon at this point. Bergman takes it to cross. And that leads to nothing. Corner now for Port Royal with Black. Gets it to the middle. Oh, and it just goes in front of the goal. What a heading. Port Royal having some big opportunities, but no finishing so far. As Black has another corner. Same position. Bryant now. Oh! And that's a big mistake from the goalkeeper, but he manages to recover. What a flimsy goalkeeping there. But it leads to nothing once again, and that has been the story so far for Port Royal. As another cross from Bergman gets to Lopte. It's been crosses after crosses, chance after chance. Both these teams have completely ignored the defending aspect of the game. and have just focused on full-on attack. And as a neutral, you love to see that. And oh, John Warhurst with a beautiful shot from outside the area. Makes it 2-0 for Istanbul. Let's see this again. Home, the third Esquire Limited to Lopta. Lopta gets it to Warhurst. Warhurst first time shot, and it's just beautifully placed in the bottom net. And that is Istanbul 2, Port Royal 0. And that's how fast it can go. Istanbul still performing well, really looking rejuvenated, as Ronaldo now has the ball, and he scores, and the referee's flag stays off. All of a sudden, it's 3-0 for Istanbul. Istanbul is running over Port Royal at this moment. There's nothing they can do. Warhurst once again gets it to Castellari. Ronaldo's just completely open, and a nice finish here. Hard to say for Digon inside of the post. And a game that was very up and down is suddenly tilted very strongly one direction. Not the band, but Istanbul. So we now have Warhurst. Home the third to Van Wolf. Van Wolf waits for support, but fails the pass. A lot of pressure, though, from the rest of his team. Let's see if Port Royal can play out of this pressure. Munro to Scream. Some nice passing here. Owen goal. Gets it to Unshark. Deep ball that doesn't reach anyone. Sloppy pass. But Owen goal is pressuring. McGlynn is able to intercept here. Oh, mistakes being made by Port Royal. They are stressed out right now, and now's a chance for a counter. There's a lot of red here. There's a lot of Istanbul players. Ronaldo slows it down just a little bit, but there's still space. Home now, alone on goal, gets it, and he scores! Joshua Home, the third Esquire Limited. With a beautiful finish. Digon, I feel like he should have been on that. I do feel like he could have been on that. Let's see what happens here. Just completely left alone, and it the ball appears to phase through Digon. I think the ball just quantum tunneled through the goalkeeper, which is unfortunate. You can't predict that. Not much you can do about that as a Port Royal, as a goalkeeper even. Things like that just happen apparently, and it has been a demolition so far. 4-0 for Istanbul. Warhurst to Lopta. Oh, and it's a deflection. Digon does save this one. Nice. Warhurst crosses it. Goes out. And that is halftime. Istanbul has been incredibly clinical. 1.59 XG, 4 goals. And Port Royal really started neck and neck, but after that second goal from Istanbul, it's been Istanbul all the way. As you can see from the positional chart, Istanbul been forced to play mostly on their own half this entire game, whereas Port Royal been forced to play mostly on their own half, whereas Istanbul has been had one thing on their mind, and that is attack. It just goes to show sometimes attack is the best form of defense. If you don't even give the opponents a chance to attack, who needs defenders? Who needs to watch the back line? Just gegenpress, high line, do everything you can. However, second half, second chance. Can Port Royal fight back into this game? They've shown glimmers of quality. There is certainly still a chance. But they will need a little goal to get that confidence up early on in this half. Otherwise, I don't see it happening at all. So we now have goal. Doesn't get it to Black. There's just been sloppy passes for Port Royal. I don't know if it's the error of the passer or if the players are just not making the right runs, but its final pass is just not working out for them like it is for Istanbul. Once again, Port Royal trying to work from the back. Doesn't get it to Owen. And now it's Istanbul again. Juliusson to Castellani. Boudreau to Warhurst. Beautiful pass. Van Wolf all the way. It is... Oh no, and he misses. Van Wolf. He still hasn't fully learned because he was one-on-one. That is a goal a striker needs to score. As Warhurst now lines up for a corner. Gets it in. Castellani. Back to Warhurst. Castellani. That was it. Ronaldo with a good game so far. 9.1 rating. Saved another corner for Istanbul. Bergman taking it. Does not reach the man. Boudreau crosses it to Bergman. To Ronaldo, but I think that was offside. Has a beautifully played attack. However, I do suspect that this was indeed offside. Let's see what the VAR is going to say. Goal disallowed, indeed. Let's see it again, though. It was a beautiful, beautiful pass from Boudreau to be able to spot this one. Oh, and it's not even... It's like barely gets it to Ronaldo. Ronaldo almost gets his second of the night. Unshark now. Like I said, Port Royal needs to be doing something here. Black, that's just not what you want to see as a Port Royal supporter. After that super promising game, now Barry McGlynn with a free kick that gets into the wall. Eriksson to Munro. Munro, chance for a shot. Gets it back. McGlynn. Gerrard with a little bit of space. He's going to try to cross it. Doesn't get to the man. That was passing one man away from being a massive opportunity. And that has been the story so far for Port Royal. Scream with a cross to McGlynn. Oh, and it's once again hits the post. That must have been the 6th time that McGlynn has hit the post in his academy career. It is ridiculous as Scream has another chance for a cross. Good defending here from Istanbul. Black keeps the ball though. Gets it to McGlynn. McGlynn with a wild shot. I think the frustration is starting to get to him a little bit. So we are in the 70th minute. And the cross doesn't lead to anything. Munro now. To Black. McGlynn with a dribble. Gets it to Unshark. A lot of Port Royal players here now. Cross comes in to McGlynn. Oh, and it's an open goal and McGlynn here heads it over. Oh no. That just puts the icing on the cake for Port Royal and for McGlynn. Today is just not their day. Cosmically unlucky. Whatever you want to call it, as McGlynn now comes here with a cross to no one. As Black does recover the ball. And gets it to Gerrard. To Eriksson. Munro to McGlynn. It's a goal. And it's a great save from Headhunter, even though goal was offside anyway. As we go into the final 10 minutes of this game. The second half has been very quiet, goal-scoring wise at least. A lot of chances for Port Royal, but nothing successful so far. Another cross with no result. Bryant to Black. Bryant stands for a shot. Nice save from the Headhunter. Does push it out for a corner, but Port Royal has not really been able to convert these corners that much. And that is the end of that attack. The second half has definitely been Port Royal's half, but they've just not been able to finish any of the chances. Whereas Istanbul was so clinical in that first half. They didn't even have to. They didn't even have to perform the second half. They had enough of a cushion. They weren't even worried at this point. We now have a little chance. Oh, nice. Black is completely in the open. Chance for a shot here. Oh, and it goes in front of the goal. We go into the final 3 minutes of regulation. Port Royal is still trying. I think they do deserve a goal at least with how they played. Scream now. Chance for a shot. He shoots with Headhunter with another great save. I think at this point the 30th corner. Bryant taking it, getting it to Tenderloin, and getting another corner. I need to know how many corners there have been, actually. Because it is definitely not a low number, I think, as Bryant gets it to Tenderloin and once again leads to nothing. Some pressure here from Port Royal. Is McGlynn able to intercept? No. Boudreau. Chance for the attack here. Van Wolf now. Oh, he's offside. With that, we have 1 minute of extra time that has just started ticking down. Black with a counter attack. Is there anything Port Royal can do? Anything to save their honor here? I think we've seen this attack many a times. So far, it has not worked out a single one. Doesn't look like this will be the one either. As it is now. Oh, Port Royal actually intercepts once again. Monroe. Ooh, you don't want to see that. Passing it back the last minute of extra time after being 4-0 done. Try something. McGlynn now with the ball. Doesn't get it to Owen goal. And that appears to be it. Van Wolf with a chance, but he's clearly offside. And with that, we have the end of our first match of the match day. Istanbul 4, Port Royal 0. Really a dominating first half. And then a second half where Port Royal is just not able to string it together. They ended having more shots, almost as many on target. But Istanbul hit 4 goals. Port Royal at 0. As Jake Ronaldo gets the man of the match with 2 assists and a goal. 9.0 rating. Great match from Jake Ronaldo. With that, we will move to maybe the most important match of the match day. It is Victoria Falls versus Adowa Accra. Victoria Falls, of course, great resurgence, storming up the league. And right now they are in 3rd place. And Adowa Accra just coming off a loss, looking to regain their form once again. Adowa Accra with a little bit of a different formation from last time. Hoping to catch Victoria Falls off guard. Victoria Falls have been very good at finding the net, and most of that is because of their striker Kisora, who has absolutely been lining up the scoreboard. It's going to be interesting to see if they can do the same thing in this match. As we get underway with Ofuso now on the ball. And dirty tackle from Mormor there in the back. We can see what kind of game it's going to become as Kesak crosses it in. Doesn't reach the intended target, but now there's a lot of space for Canal. Peña. Back to Canal. Chance for a cross already. Crosses it in. Gets it to Mormor. Oh, and it just hits the bar. In the first minute, Victoria Falls already dangerously close to a goal. And those counter-attacks from Victoria Falls are so dangerous. When both those wingers and the 2 wingbacks come running at you. There's not much you can do as Mulletman with a nice free kick. Just hits the side netting. Yupankui gets it to Peña. Peña loses the ball. Oh, and it's a beautiful pass to Nkufo. Nkufo one-on-one with the keeper. He shoots, and he hits the bar. Oh, no. You might regret this at the end of the day. So close, and yet so far as Mulitman has another free kick, which hits the wall and goes out for a corner. A lot of excitement in these first 15 minutes. Chavez now crosses it in. Ooh, there's people in the middle, but no one seems to get their head on it. Chavez gets it back, though, to use Uday. Some real solid defending there from Victoria Falls, not letting Accra in anywhere close. Accra has been good on those second balls so far. We now have Tang to Blanco. A lot of space. Morbor now. Oh, and Morbor crosses it to Nacho Kusora. And who else but Nacho Kusora to score the 1-0 for Victoria Falls Eagles. That's a beautifully executed attack. A real Victoria Falls type attack. Let's see this again. Gets it to Blanco. To Morbor. Morbor able to cross it to Kusora, and that is a chance you cannot give to Kusora, as he will finish those. And suddenly, with a good start from Adowa Accra, it is now 1-0 for Victoria Falls. And a cross opportunity here. Morbor. Blanco. To Morbor. Nice block. Oh, and it's a nice save from Flowers. Canal. Crosses it in. High ball. Doesn't get cleared, but it ends there. Now a corner for Accra. They would love to see a goal before halftime here. Corner goes to nothing, but Kesak is able to collect. Gets it to Hughes. Nice pass here. Hughes gets it back to Kesak. Kesak, chance for a shot. Gets blocked, and another corner for Adowa Accra. Chavez. Gets it to use. Ofuso. Ooh, Ofuso almost connects there. Peña being pressured here by Accra. Can they play out of the pressure? Victoria Falls does so expertly so far. And now Blanco with a lot of space. Jero. Blanco once again back with the ball. Another chance for a cross. Gets it to Kusora. Ooh, and Kusora almost gets it on target. It's the exact same attack you see over and over again. Either Blanco on the side or Peña on the side. Crossing it to Kusora. Has been super effective for them. Blanco. Crosses it. Flower gets a hand to it. Important touch there. Now, chance for a counter perhaps. And Kufa with the ball. We know he's fast. And that's a dirty tackle. Is that a red? That is a red. Alex Peña with a red card. That is that wingback that is so important for Victoria Falls. And in the 30th minute, this could get interesting. Now, is Chavez going to be able to abuse this left side? And Kesak, two of their best players, they are already doing it. Getting it to use, to Pervs. Shots! And oh, Victoria Falls is going to need to hold on for dear life. It looks like it. Although they do have an attack here with Blanco, who almost gets it to Kusora. This is the time Adowa Accra needs to fully commit, overload those flanks, and get the equalizer. Because they are solidly in a very good position at this moment. With the man advantage as Pervs crosses it in to Kesak. Doesn't reach his man. McAllister gets it to Kusora. Kusora is very lonely here, but he is able to delay long enough to try to get it to Perv. But Blanco now. We see it once again, down the wing, Blanco. Chance for a cross, wants to get it to Cazorla and gets it to Cazorla. Although I do see a flag up. I see the linesman with a flag up. Let's see. Goal review. And it's the goal disallowed. That is a collective sigh of relief from Adowa Accra, the players, the managers, and the fans. Because getting 2-0 behind while being 11 to 10 men up, that would be rough. As the minutes start ticking down, it does appear that Victoria Falls is able to keep their lead for this first half, unless Accra is able to do something in these last couple minutes. Utes to Nkufo, who tries a first-time shot but doesn't quite hit it. And that was the first half. I think overall, definitely Victoria Falls have been the strongest team, but with that red card from Alex Peña, especially once people start getting a little bit tired, with that whole side of the field exposed, I think there is definitely a lot of opportunity here for Adowa Accra. And I think if they don't at least equalize this game, it will feel like a loss. Wait, that didn't make any sense, because if they don't equalize it, they will have lost. So, of course, it will feel like a loss. But you know what I mean. They should be equalizing this at least. But they should probably be winning this. It was a pretty equal game before all of that. But you've already seen Victoria Falls. They don't need a lot, because Zora's there. Give him one chance and he scores. On 11 goals so far. He's been a real menace to all the defense in the academy. So we kick it off for the second half. Hopefully another 45 minutes of great football here. Maxwell gets it to Pervs. Ofusu, Kamavinga. Nice passing here to Hughes. Gets it to Kasek. Kasek is all the way open. This has to be a goal. He shoots right at the goalkeeper. Oh no. That was a massive opportunity, but he just hits the goalkeeper straight in the chest as Hughes takes the corner now. Kasek to Ofusu. I don't know who was offside there, but someone was apparently. As the minute keeps ticking down, I think the Victoria Falls manager is going to be very, very pleased seeing that counter go up and up and up and up. And the exact opposite for the Adowa Accra manager, as we have already reached the 70th minute. No chances. Basically no chances the second half so far. No highlights. It's going to need to come quick for Adowa Accra, or Victoria Falls will sneak this win away with 10 men. Incredibly impressive. But now Nkufo. A lot of space, a lot of speed. Gets it to Mulletman. Mulletman gets it to Kasek, and Kasek scores! Adowa Accra does it. With 15 minutes left to play, they equalize against Victoria Falls. It wasn't pretty, but it doesn't have to be. Nkufo with the run gets it to Mulletman. It looks like the attack is over here. But Kasek is able to collect and does finish this one, and it is 1-1. Can Adowa Accra sneak a win away here? Or will Victoria Falls make another statement? Cazorla to Blanco. Attack from Victoria Falls now. To Tong, who shoots and it's over. Chavez to Hude. Maxwell. Back to the keeper. Some slow play here from Adowa Accra. Now to Hughes. Hughes gets it to Chavez. Kamavinga to Nkufo. Nkufo shoots immediately once again, but it goes over. Adowa Accra emboldened by that goal. Now starting to push more than before. However, they are leaving some gaps as Blanco is able to abuse it. I've seen this goal before, but it doesn't get it to Cazorla. Kamavinga now. Gets it to Mulletman, just barely. Hughes gets it to Kasek. Some chances here. Kasek down the wing. Crosses it into Nkufo, and Nkufo scores! Blaise Nkufo might have just stolen it at the last second for Adowa Accra FC. After leading the entire time, Victoria Falls might fall here to a late winner. Kesak down the wing, abusing this left side that had the player missing. Beautiful crossing, and Nkufo finally able to find a goal again. Gets his second of the season, and it might be a very important one. Now, can Adowa Accra hold on for these last 10 minutes to get this W? If it's up to Kazora, they can. Kazora shoots, and he scores! It is unbelievable. Kazora says, fine, I'll do it myself. Runs all the way down the field and just beats the goalkeeper. It is unbelievable. Can somebody stop this man? From so far away, I feel like Flowers really should have gotten to that. But all of a sudden, it is 2-2 once again. Adowa was in control of the match for about 12 seconds. Oh, he's almost offside too. Times it perfectly. 12th goal. And that might be... I'm not going to even say it because anything can happen this game. Kesak now also running with an injury. 83rd minute. Are we getting more spectacle in this game? And Nkufo now. Chance? Oh, and it's a great save from Yopanki. Oh, it's a great save. An important save. As Hughes now with the corner. Gets it in. Doesn't get where it needs to go. Hughes gets it back though. Chance for a shot. Oh, and that's a bad shot. That is a bad shot from Hughes. So we go into the final 5 minutes. Is there one more moment of excitement? 5 minutes of extra time. Anything that's going to happen, it is Victoria Falls with a free kick. Blanco gets it to Kazora. Kazora heads it on. And it's almost on goal. That would have been stupendous. But it does appear to end in a 2-2. And I think with that ending, Adowa Accra is going to be sorely, sorely, sorely disappointed. And this actually plays in perfectly to the title for Stockholm. A draw here was exactly what they were looking for. Hats off to Kazora. What an incredible player. 12 goals scored now in 7 games. He's damn near 2 goals a game at this point. Incredible. That last goal was beautiful. Nick Kesak had a good game. Assist and a goal. It's nice for Blaise Nkufo to score again, but he was so close a couple of other times. You would have kind of thought him to score another one. But it wasn't meant to be. And a draw is what they will have to deal with. And with that, we now have Stockholm IK versus Sydney City. Number 1 versus number 8. Now, I would like to remind you that the last time Stockholm played against the last place team, they did lose. And I think they lost like 5-1, maybe. We have a 4-3-3 for Stockholm. What is Sydney City going to rock with? Sydney City is also a little bit of a 4-3-3. Only Walker is a little bit lost on the left side. Is Sydney going to be able to reproduce the miracle that was the Istanbul win? Or is Stockholm going to walk them down? We got 90 minutes to find out. Come and join me as we have Stockholm starting off the match. I think Mendoza might be a new player, if I'm not mistaken. That bastard. Throw in from that bastard. Gets it to Vox. Cardinet. Some space. Gets the pow. Ooh! Nice shot, but Duik is able to steady hands from the goalkeeper there. relatively quiet start of the game. Both teams kind of trying each other out. Kerpan to Buckspatron. That based it to Vox. Vox gets it to Huntelroy. Huntelroy heads it in like he's done so many times, but Duik able to collect also. Huntelroy was offside. Yeah, a surprisingly quiet game. Usually Stockholm games are very high action, high intensity. There's been 0.08 XG in the first 30 minutes. I think that has never happened before. I'm curious to hear the manager's opinion on why they changed their formation to a 4-3-3. I feel like the 4-2-3-1 was certainly working for them. But now we're already in the 43rd minute. First half flown by, and we have a highlight for Sydney as Say gets it to Inclan, to P. Harper now. Inclan. Kwakuridu. Gets it to Say. Nice pass. Say shoots, and Say scores! Is the unthinkable gonna happen? Well, the start of it has, as Say scores a beautiful goal. Team goal from Sydney City. All praise to Cam. He do be cooking. Quackery do. Beautiful pass. Beautiful run from Say. Say finished that. Umbach not able to do anything. And that's the 1-0 for Sydney City before halftime. And that's gonna be a gut-wrenching situation to be in for Stockholm. They are right now in the locker room thinking, no, it cannot happen again. We cannot lose again against the last place team. But it might. It might. Although there is still 45 minutes for them to change. However, they did not produce anything in those first 45. Whatever Sydney is doing defensively has really been working. And as you can see, they only really need one chance to make a difference. And they did currently. It's going to be interesting to see what this second half is going to be like. Is it more of the same? Is it going to be another super, super quick game or half? Or will there be more chances because Stockholm will start to chase a little bit? Let's see how it ends up. For now, we start with a Sydney attack with a corner from Walker. Crosses in. Kerpan, Mr. Voldemort, able to get that. Walker now. Oh, not dangerous. Enbach able to collect easily. And we are starting off in the second half. So far, it does feel very similar to that first half. Just very little energy coming from Stockholm. These do not look like the same team we've seen in previous weeks. Harper now. Inclan. Kwakuridu. Doesn't get it to Ship, but Sydney's able to recollect. Inclan now. Harper. The dive. Oh, interception. No, they get it back. The diver. To P. Harper. Back to P. To Harper. Some nice passing here from Sydney. Gets it to Walker. Walker tends for a shot. Oh, and it goes to both posts. It hits both posts, but does not go in the goal. Stockholm get away with murder there. What a banger shot there from Walker. But now counter opportunity from Huntelroy. Usually not the guy in that position. But it's cleared over the line by Sydney. And that is the end of the attack. But now a corner for Stockholm. Finally, something from Stockholm. They have not had much opportunities this half. And that is just a header from Huntelroy that does not lead to much. XG from Stockholm still 0.14. Incredibly low for their doing. The diver. To Harper to P. Inclan. Kwakridu. Some space now. Gets it to Ship. Ship down the wing. It's going to want to cross this. Oh, gets it back to Banyo. A lot of space. Nice decision there. Banyo to Kwakridu. Oh, it has to be a save from Enbach. And like the commentary said below, Sydney are indeed enjoying themselves right now as Ship lines up for a corner. Wasting some time here. Very important to do as well with that 1-0 lead. Gets it to Ship. A lot of space again. Ooh, Ship with a heavy touch there. Doesn't lead to anything. And we go into the final 15 minutes of the game. Stockholm has been lackluster, to say the least. And I'm not sure if it's Stockholm or it's Sydney in this game. I think Sydney has just played an incredible game so far. However, Stockholm now in the 86th minute. Chance here. Pau to Fox. Fox. Oh, and it's immediately a goal. No offside. All of a sudden, Stockholm does it. Some Stockholm magic. Making it 1-1 in the 86th minute. Out of nowhere this game. And this just a beautiful, beautiful pass from Pau. And Vox is just left completely open. And now, as Sydney City, you've got to be worrying a little bit. There's only a couple seconds left in this game. But if anyone can do it, it's Stockholm. However, it appears that this game might end in a 1-1. And it does indeed. So Stockholm avoids disaster by drawing in the last second. And this means the title race is in stasis right now, as the top three all get a draw. And Sydney should be very happy. Well, actually, I think Sydney is going to be a little disappointed to give that away in the 87th minute. However, getting a draw against the number one team, you can't be too sad about that one. And with that, we have already reached the final match of this match day. And this is an interesting one. Medellin having a terrible season so far, to be fair. However, Istanbul is going to be... Jakarta is going to be the focus of this match. Because their team has been completely rejuvenated. Adding 4... I believe 4... Perhaps 5. Well, I'm going to have to see the lineup, see if there were any last second changes. But a lot of new players to their roster. Jakarta, who's already in 4th place, didn't do terrible so far. Let's see Jakarta. Yeah, 4. We have Talic, Rivers, Braiski, and Bebes. Making up the 4 new players. Versing Atletico Medellin. So... as you can see, they're 5th at the moment. However, they could jump all the way up to 3rd, possibly, if they get a win here. Especially because that 1, 2, 3 all had a draw. There is some chances here from Jakarta. And it's going to be interesting to see how these new players interact with each other. How the formation works, as we have Tessenvis going down the wing. Braiski tries to get it to Rivers, but it gets cleared by Medellin. Go into the first 10 minutes. Relatively quiet. Jakarta now. Tessenvits with a corner. Crossing it in. Whittington to Tessenvits. Rivers. Oh, shots from distance. Almost goes in. Almost beats Neuer. Beautifully taken there. Free kick gets the rub. Ramirez now. The floor. Ooh. The Heretic has to stretch for that one, and it's out for a corner for Medellin. Ramirez crosses it. Foul by Maple. Oh. So the yellow card there for Maple. Once again, both teams kind of feeling each other out. It's been very low XG, very low chances for this first half so far. We go into the first half hour of the game. Some yellow cards being dished out. It's probably Jakarta's new players still getting used to each other. Like I said, Talic, Bebes on the wings and the midfield. So we now have Braiski and Rivers. Whittington to Visser. Braiski. Tessenwitz. Getting pressured here. Hard to play out here for Jakarta, but Bebes now gets the ball. Ooh, almost gets far enough there. So we have Legend now with the ball to Visser. Visser shoots. Oh, Neuer has to stretch for that. Tessenwitz, Legend with the corner. Crosses it. Oh, gets it to Legend. Shoots. Get blocked by Gordon. Bebes now. And that has been, except if something happens in these last 2 minutes of extra time for the first half, we have Talic. The floor intercepts. Now counter opportunity for Medellin. To Ramirez. Ruma. Oh, the floor is all the way free. Chance for a cross here. Isagi heads it, but it's not on goal. And that is certainly the first half. I'm going to be very frank with you, very boring first half. 0.25 XG, 3 shots, 1 on target for Jakarta. 0.11 XG, 2 shots, 1 on target for Medellin. I hope for all the neutrals these teams wake up a little bit in the second half, because this has been snoozer, resident sleeper, not very exciting. It's not the debut you want to see from your new core of players if you're Jakarta. But perhaps this was some first match nerves, some first half nerves for Jakarta. And they will show up in the second half, or perhaps they will collapse. Only time will tell. And that time is now, as Medellin starts off the second half. Formation unchanged. Personnel unchanged. We have Nunez to Isagi. Immediate chance here. Crosses it in. Doesn't get it to the floor. Jakarta now. Bebes gets it to Tessenwitz. Crossed in. Talic. He heads it. He is completely left alone. But isn't able to get the ball down far enough. '60th minute now. Corner for Jakarta. Tessenwitz. Crosses it. Oh, and it's a header. Tamana Whittington Legend heads it in, beats Neuer, and Jakarta gets the 1-0 they so desperately were craving. Tessenwitz lines up, crosses it in. Beautiful cross, beautiful header. Neuer almost gets to that. He just has to look at the ball and get it from the net as Jakarta gets the 1-0. Now are the floodgates open? Visser to Whittington. Deep ball to Tessenwitz. Doesn't get it to Bebes. But Bebes pressures. A lot of pressure here. Snook's able to recollect. Talic now to Rivers. Gets it all the way down to Visser. Visser, chance for a cross. Doesn't get there, but Kamatu is able to recollect. Crosses it in. Bebes. Bebes with the header. And on his debut, Don Bebes scores a header, making it 2-1 for PS Jakarta. What a dream debut for the young player. Kemuatu gets it. Crosses in beautifully, and Bebes is just able to get higher than his opponent. Gets it near post, beats Neuer. 1 appearance, 1 goal. Looking good for the rookie. Ramirez now. Ooh, with a free kick. That looked dangerous. We are heading into the 70th minute. Isagi doesn't get to the ball. Jakarta seemingly having woken up here. Rivers. To Visser. Visser doesn't get it to Kemuatu. And Neuer clears. But Breisky is able to collect. Gets it to Rivers. To Legend. To Kemuatu. Who shoots, but it's a corner. Nice block there from the defender. Bebes with the corner. Very visible so far in the game. Crosses it in. Collected by Rivers. Gets it to Bebes. Ooh, almost gets it to Breisky. Oh, Maple now all the way free. But Heretic with a great save. Oh, he's offside. 15 minutes left. Can Jakarta hold on? Maybe with some chances here in the last bit of the game. Tessenwitz. To Snooks. Rivers to Visser. Talic. Chance for a shot. Ooh, nice save. Nice shot from Talic, but Neuer is able to collect that. Tessenwitz with a corner now. Jakarta has been very visible, very apparent in the second half. They're looking for another score to add to the tally, but so far it is unsuccessful. So we have 3 minutes of extra time. Looks like this will be the end score, unless something can be done in these final couple minutes, as we have Rivers getting it to Talic. These rookies have been able to find each other. Talic gets it to... Almost gets it to Kemuatu. Neuer gets it far. 2 minutes left in this game. Certainly seems decided for Jakarta. Unless something absolutely crazy happens. Nunez crosses it in to Maple. Whew. Has to be a save. And a corner for Medellin. Crossed in. Almost goes for goal. Almost is not enough. And with that, the time starts ticking down. Ramirez with a chance here still. Doesn't get it on goal, and it appears to be that Jakarta, with their new personnel, has indeed won the match. 2-0. Big role for Bebes, of course, with the goal. Breisky having a good game too. Talic and Rivers, also some of the rookies. And Tamna Whittington, legend, with the man of the match, player of the match, with an 8.0 rating. I think all in all, Jakarta can be happy with their first game. There's probably going to be some new jitters having a new team, but winning convincingly 2-0, never really looking in too much of trouble, is definitely a good start for the revitalized Jakarta. And with that, we have reached the end of this match day. And I am quite curious to see what the final standings look like. I think Stockholm is still in first. We have Accra in second. We might have Jakarta in third, but I'm going to need to check with the actual standings after the match. So I think it feels very up and down with Academy. The one week we have 7-1s, and then we have 1-1s the next week. As I said, we have Stockholm first, Adowa second with 14 points, Victoria Falls still in third with 13 points because of the goal difference. It's very, very big difference. But then Jakarta with 13 points as well in fourth. Istanbul in fifth with 10 points. Port Royal with 6 points. Sydney with 4 points. And now all the way at the bottom, Atletico Medellin. This has been MC Lumberjack. I hope everyone enjoyed themselves. And I will see you next time. Have a nice night.